Okay, so you won't believe the latest chapter in the Prince Andrew saga. It's like this thing just refuses to die, right? Every time the palace tries to sweep it under the rug, bam, something new explodes all over the headlines. This time it's these photos, never before seen, from Jeffrey Epstein's infamous private island. And guess who's right back in the thick of it? Good old Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Honestly, it's a mess. The House Oversight Committee dropped these pics, and videos too, apparently, that no one's ever seen before. We're talking rooms, corridors, the whole shebang, all from that Caribbean island hideout. The one Andrew himself admitted to visiting way back in that disastrous Newsnight interview. Remember that? It's brutal. Now, look, Andrew's always denied any wrongdoing. He swears up and down he's innocent. But these images, they just drag all those old questions right back to the surface. Questions the palace has never managed to properly answer, let alone silence. So, what are we looking at here? Well, first, let's rewind a bit. The most explosive claim about Andrew and that island comes from Virginia Giuffre, or Virginia Dre, as the transcript spells it, in her testimony. She paints this picture of a nightmare, a truly scary time in her life. She alleges that Andrew was involved in this group encounter with her and 8 other young women. Russian girls, she says, brought in by Epstein. I mean, that's a heavy accusation, right? And it's been floating around for years in court documents, depositions, interviews. Andrew's denied it every single time, of course. It even came up during that Newsnight interview, the one that basically nuked his reputation. Remember Emily Maitlis just straight up asking him about these group encounters? He denied everything, but his explanations, they were weird. He claimed he wasn't even in the places Virginia said he was. At the time, she said. And then there's that infamous line, he's not a hugger, and he doesn't remember ever meeting her. Seriously? But here's the thing. These photos, released now in 2025, don't show any of that directly. There are no people in them, no smoking gun. But they reignite everything linked to that island. And the 9-girl allegation? That's like the Mount Everest of accusations against Andrew. Think about it. This isn't just some suggestion of a single inappropriate meeting. This is a large group, young women allegedly brought in from overseas, all happening on a private island far from prying eyes. It's the stuff of nightmares, and it's all tied to a place Andrew admits he visited. He denies the core allegation, sure, but the association is there. It sticks. The first batch of photos, they're creepy. Abandoned rooms, empty dental equipment, masks, piles of linens, a blackboard with words like power, deception, truth, and time scrawled on it. It's like a horror movie set. Robert Garcia said the photos are supposed to bring transparency, to give a clearer picture of Epstein's world. But they mostly just raise more questions. Then there's the steam room, all dried out, with towels and personal care items scattered around. This is apparently part of the guest accommodation, where people like Andrew might have stayed. You start picturing it all, and it's just unsettling. And the timing? Absolutely brutal for Andrew. He's reportedly trying to get his act together, setting up shop in this smaller property on the Sandringham estate. He wants staff, he wants to be relevant. And then bam, this hits the news. He's linked to scandal again, not public service. Let's be honest, Andrew's actions have caused serious damage to the royal family. One former courtier even called his judgment catastrophic. And this latest release, it just reinforces that view. His refusal to cooperate with investigators doesn't help either. It looks like he doesn't want to be questioned under oath. Whether that's fair or not, that's the perception. And in the royal world, perception is everything. And it's not like this is the end of the road either. The Justice Department's got less than 3 weeks to drop those federal files on Epstein. Now, they can hold back stuff related to ongoing investigations or, personal privacy. But come on, you just know there's going to be more stuff about Andrew in there, whether it's direct or indirect. That's the killer for him. He's got zero control. He can't pick and choose what gets released. He can't tell witnesses what to say, and he sure as hell can't control the press. For the royal family, this is just a never-ending nightmare. The Andrew chapter just won't close. They're trying so damn hard to project this image of unity, looking to the future. But these reminders of the past just keep dragging everyone back to the one guy they wish would just vanish already. And let's be real, his current predicament? It's all his own doing. Choices he made over years and years, the friends he chose, the places he traveled, who he spent his time with and why. And every time new garbage surfaces, those choices get put under a microscope again. So, the big question is, does Andrew deserve all this spotlight? Did he deserve to get stripped of his titles and lose Royal Lodge? And more importantly, is there more to come in this whole Andrew Epstein mess? I gotta say, it's hard to feel sorry for the guy. He had it all, born into unimaginable privilege, and he threw it away. He associated with a monster, and he refuses to fully cooperate with investigations. He's got this air of entitlement that just rubs everyone the wrong way. And the royal family, they're in a tough spot. They want to move on, to focus on Charles and William and Kate. They want to project this image of stability and service. But Andrew's like a persistent stain they just can't get rid of. It's a real test for Charles. He's trying to modernize the monarchy, to slim it down and make it more relevant. But how do you do that when you've got this walking, talking scandal in the family? I think we're going to see more documents released, more allegations resurface. This whole thing is far from over. And Andrew? He's going to keep paying the price for his choices. It's a cautionary tale, really, about power, about privilege, about the dangers of associating with the wrong people, and about how even royalty isn't immune to consequences. The palace can spin all they want, but the stench of Epstein is going to linger around Andrew for a long, long time. And every time a new photo or document is released, it's just another reminder of his disastrous judgment. Honestly, it's a mess. A royal mess. And it's not going away anytime soon. It's just mind-blowing how this guy keeps managing to screw things up, right? Like, you'd think after all this time, after being stripped of his titles, after the public humiliation, he'd just crawl into a hole and disappear. But no, he's still out there, trying to claw his way back into relevance. It's almost comical if it wasn't so infuriating. And the victims? We can't forget about them. Virginia Giuffre and all the other women who were abused by Epstein and his cronies. They're the ones who deserve justice, who deserve to have their voices heard. Andrew's just trying to protect himself, to save his own skin. He's not thinking about the pain he's caused, the lives he's ruined. I mean, what kind of person hangs out with a guy like Epstein in the first place? What does that say about his character, his values? It's not like Epstein was hiding his behavior. There were rumors for years, whispers about what was going on. And Andrew still chose to associate with him, to fly on his plane, to visit his island. And now he's trying to play the victim, claiming he's being unfairly targeted? Give me a break. He made his own bed, and now he has to lie in it. The royal family's in a bind, no doubt. They can't just disown him completely, he's still family, but they also can't afford to be seen as condoning his behavior. It's a PR nightmare. Charles has a tough job ahead of him. He's trying to steer the monarchy into the 21st century to make it more modern and relatable. But how can he do that when he's got this albatross hanging around his neck? And William and Kate, they're the future of the monarchy, the ones who are supposed to carry it forward. But this whole Andrew thing just casts a shadow over everything they do. It's not fair to them. I honestly think the best thing Andrew could do is just disappear. Go live on a remote island somewhere and never be seen again. But he won't, will he? He's too arrogant, too entitled. He thinks he deserves to be back in the spotlight, to have his titles restored. It's just wishful thinking, but I'd love to see him actually face some consequences. I don't know if that'll ever happen though. He's got powerful friends, deep pockets. He'll probably get away with it. But the court of public opinion, he's already been convicted there. No amount of spin or PR can change that. He'll always be known as the prince who hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. That's his legacy. And the worst part is, this whole thing is just a distraction. While we're all focused on Andrew and his scandals, the real issues are being ignored. The victims are being forgotten. The powerful people who enabled Epstein are getting away with it. We need to keep the focus on what really matters, holding these people accountable and preventing this kind of abuse from happening again. Andrew's just a symptom of a much bigger problem. A problem of power, privilege, and the exploitation